This application problem came in to me through email from a student. So thankful that the student who was working on their homework using MyLab Math chose to hit the Ask My Instructor button, which alerted me to their question and gave me a link to the question. Here's what the problem looked like. It comes from section 1.3, though it might show up any section after 1.3 as well as a review problem. It says the length of a new rectangular playing field is 4 yards longer than quadruple the width. If the perimeter is 528 yards, what are its dimensions? As I read this question, I want to understand what it's asking. I can see that it's asking me to find the dimensions. I can find that in the question here where it says, what are the dimensions? And I could get confused if I was reading it too fast when it says that the length is 4 yards longer than quadruple the width. But if I stop and break that down, I can understand that the length is being described, as 4 more than quadruple means 4 times, 4 more than 4 times the width. So I'm going to start with the width. I'm going to let x equal the width because I'm given a way to describe the length. And that's how I made the determination to let the variable x represent the width instead of letting the variable represent the length. Now, we could do this in another way where the x, the variable, is the length, but it gets a little trickier because we'd have to work backwards to the width and say that it's for less than 1/4 of the width. It gets a little more confusing. So it's easier to start with what we're told here, the 4 yards longer than quadruple the width, and to then pull out that we're using the width to find the length. So let's let width be our independent variable. We know a little bit more about this problem. We know that the perimeter, which means the measurement around, perimeter, so the measurement around, if I were to trace all the way around the figure, walking the parameter of the field, I'm going to get the perimeter. So if I walk the length and then the width and then the length and then the width, I'd get the perimeter. We're told that the perimeter is 528 yards, and I know that to calculate perimeter, I could do length plus width plus length plus width, or I could do the length plus the width and then double that, right? So 2 lengths and 2 widths would give us the perimeter. So now I feel really confident that I'm all set to start with the problem, and I'm going to jump in and take it from here. So let me get a nice color here that matches a little bit and switch to a pen. If x is the width, then 4 more than 4 times the width, we could say 4 more, so 4 added to 4 times the width, 4 more than 4 times the width, or if you're more comfortable seeing it this way, we could say 4 times the width. So if I'm going to let x equal the width, which that's the first step, by the way, or the second step, after I read the problem and understand it, I want to define the variable, and I'm going to actually write that definition. Let x equal whatever. So let x equal the width, then 4 times the width plus 4, so 4 more than 4 times the width is the length. Now I'm all set, ready to go with my figure. I could write this in so that I see it visually. Now some students might find it easier to just go ahead and write that 4x plus 4 on both lengths, write the x on both widths, and see that it's 4x plus 4 plus x plus 4x plus 4 plus x. Or other students might see it easier to combine it once, so to say that the perimeter is twice the length plus the width, right? Twice the length plus the width. If I simplified this, I'd get twice 5x plus 4, combining like terms. And then if I distribute that 2, I'll get that the perimeter is 2 times 5x, so 10x, plus 2 times 4, which is 8. Do you see what to do next? Because I'm told that the perimeter is 528, and I've calculated that the perimeter is 10x plus 8. So now I could say that this 10x plus 8 is equivalent to 528. And now I'm ready to solve the equation. Really easy linear equation to solve once I have that equation written. And this is one of the steps, is to write an equation that can describe all the information, right? So now the easy part compared to the work I've done is to solve that. So I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides, and that leaves us 10x is equal to 520. Divide both sides by 10, and that gives me x equal to 52. I've not answered the question yet because this question didn't say what is x. The question said what are the dimensions. So I'm going to finish this problem up by answering the question. So as I answer this final question, I'm going to say therefore, I'm going to use this little math symbol instead of writing the word out. Therefore, the width is 52 what? 52 yards. And the length is 4 more than 4 times that. So if I take the 52, multiply it by 4, I get 208, add 4, I get 212. And before I say that this is done, let me just do a quick check. If I take that 212 and add it to the 52, I get 264. And if I do that 264 times 2, I'm hoping I get 528, and sure enough, I do get the 528. So I could call this problem done. I've worked through each of the 4 problem-solving steps. I hope that this has helped you understand this problem a little bit better and maybe become a little more confident with the problem. Could I encourage you to try the problem now on your own? Go back to the start of the video if you don't have your own copy of the problem and try it again before I've done any of the work for it. See if you can work all the way through this problem from start to finish, and that's how you know you're becoming a better problem solver yourself. If this is a problem in your homework management system, you could even go to the problem and ask it to give you a similar problem so that you can get the practice of trying it one more time with new numbers. But let me know how I can help you further with this type of problem.